For the ingredients, you'll be needing sticky rice flour, milk, and here I used powdered milk, hot water, sugar, vanilla, an egg, unsalted butter. I don't know why I'm placing it so slowly. And just trying to position it nicely for the video. And baking powder. For the starter dough, mix 1/4 cup of rice flour with about 2 tablespoons of whole milk. And you can add more milk if it's too dry like mine. Then you microwave it on high for about 50 to 60 seconds, aka a minute. For the main dough, you add in 1 3/4 cup of sticky rice flour. I'm out of rice flour! Now what? I ran out of rice flour here, but I kept going along with it. And then you add in 1/2 cup of milk, an egg, 2 1/2 tablespoon melted butter, 1/4 cup granulated sugar, and finally 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So then you add in the starter dough and you mix it together. My starter dough was still a bit dry, but it still worked out in the end, since the recipe is pretty forgiving, I would say. So when you're done mixing, you dust your surface with rice flour and you make your shapes. Prepare small squares of parchment paper and roll out your dough into mini balls. And then arrange your donuts on parchment paper to prevent it from falling apart when frying. To further prevent it from falling apart, you can also wet the donut balls and attach them together. I didn't use this technique, so mine fell apart, so we just called them donut holes. Okay, now it's frying time. Add enough oil to reach about 1.5 inches and set it to medium high, and then turn it down to medium low once it gets hot enough. And you can always test if it's hot enough by using a wooden chopstick and poking the oil, seeing if bubbles form around it. And then you fry each side until they're golden brown. So for the glaze, I mixed 2.5 tablespoons of melted butter and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract with 1 cup powdered sugar. And then I added in 2 to 3 tablespoons of hot water, or you can add more depending on what consistency you want. I also saw another recipe where they use condensed milk as frosting, and I didn't frost all of them because my parents prefer it without the extra sugar. And now you're done. This is a fairly easy recipe, so if I can do it, you can definitely do it as well. I have also linked the original recipe by Lady and Pups down in the description box below. I feel like I can't speak that properly because my cheeks are numb from going to the dentist. Can't feel anything. I can only move one side of my nose. Dude, wait. So scary. Hello. So this is the recipe that I use for making mochi donuts. Look at that. It's actually pretty easy. I feel like the first time I made it, it looked much better compared to like this one, but this time it tasted much better. So the recipe I uses like rice flour, like sweet rice flour. The Pondyroon donuts, they use like tapioca starch, I think, much lighter and fluffier. This one in comparison, much denser, and it's like more popular in America. But the recipe I followed, they used a donut cutter to cut out like the shapes. I copied the Pondyroon donuts to make this donut shape. I made these like a few days ago. It like hardens up pretty quickly. Like it tastes better when you eat it like fresh out of the fryer. And try it. So it still tastes fine. It's just a little bit, I guess, stale, or it's just very dense, very like solid. Like I can feel right through. It just feels really crumbly, like a dry banana bread, or kind of like a scone. You should probably finish these after you make them fresh. My family's really small and we don't really eat sweet. It was hard to like actually eat these. We managed to eat most of them, so I put this on because I thought it would like look cute, and I also want to change up the look. But I forgot to mention that for the frosting, you can add like matcha powder or like other flavorings to the frosting. Yeah, maybe in the future I'll try it, but you can just easily add it to your frosting mix. Very easy.